Hey, welcome. Hope you are all doing well. So, this is Dr. Rao coming to you live on several channels at the same time. Um, the usual 6 o'clock room. Uh, I've been busy all day, but I'm happy to be here chatting with my friends. Hopefully, some people will show up and then I can have a dialogue with them rather than my monologue. That's what I would like. So, uh, I think there are people in the Wisdom app. Lois, yeah, my friend. Alden, Parish, and Top Right. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Lois, I have not seen you for some days, I think. We did talk a while ago. Yeah, I was really putting what that I can do is my work. We look at it, people do come, even though they have the capabilities, they kind of underestimate them, and then really bringing them to the truth that they have the capacity to enhance themselves was the core of what I do, basically, right? And that was happening with my physician friends, with my family, with my friends, and with my patients too. Could be a situational thing, but it could be so many changes like COVID, like economic inflation or natural calamities, so many ways, right? People are really are down on themselves sometimes. And that's why I kind of turn inward and really find the treasure that we all have. And that's the same thing. It's not like a pointing out, it's more like a uh, really bringing it to their own awareness of what they are inside. And once they understand the conditionings, all those things that happened to them up until now, either because of the family, culture, or religion, any number of things, right? Education also. So I don't draw upon those mistakes rather than what is possible. That's why I say it's enhancing the human being or healthcare worker or any number of things, right? But people get depressed sometimes. People get very anxious about their future. People are really worried about the planet. People are worried about the money. People are worried about the economy as a whole and relationships, so many things that are going on. If you focus only on them, you will be down. On the other hand, you will want to deal with them intelligently. But my solution is more like a you can be resilient inside and come with strength to face the calamities or inconveniences or any number of different things that can happen to people, right? That's what I focus on. And especially with the healthcare workers, that's a big deal because they are having a lot of problems in the system, and the situation is not getting better because people are looking at them in a system problem only, but not really helping themselves to be dealing with themselves so that they can be resilient, they can be strong, they can be really uh, go forward with the optimism and with confidence, right? So I do see that after they talk to me, that confidence has grown. Any number of times, my patients, when they come in, they're very despondent or disappointed or whatever, right? Due to life situation or the diagnosis they got, because they don't want to be told that they have such and such, like a cancer or so something like that, right? And then some people are so upset, they're so physical fitness maniacs. They get upset if they were diagnosed as a pre-diabetes or diabetes according to the blood test. But it's not like a permanent thing. This diagnosis only show what is your status right now, but you can work on that and get better. That's what I was always pointing it out. And so the people who come into the clinic, we make it our business to make sure that they go out with a little bit optimism, or just convincing themselves so that they can deal with that a particular disease condition, right? Um, I feel very good when that kind of result come out with our visit. Lots of time I would say that has happened, and then so I don't take it like a big deal. It's a normal thing that we all have to do. But the patients are very uh, affectionate, very friendly, and very appreciative of the efforts that we put in. Mainly, don't treat them like a patient, right? But treat them like human beings going through certain experience. And for me, it's like a spiritual being going through the life, which is really not permanent, which is something temporary, and the spiritual being will be permanent anyway. So that kind of perspective, not everybody has it, or we don't have to sell it to them. It's up to them to realize that. So it depends upon where they are, what their conditioning, and all that, right? Lots of people, they get stuck in their mind, and so pointing it out, bringing them out of that mindset really helps them a lot. So that's why I never um, probably relinquish this role of more like helping people with their health or suffering or whatever, more like helping them to be able to see their situation, and then get the help either from the science or from the ancient wisdom or any number of things, right? We have a lot of knowledge out there for so many conditions. We don't have to sit down and mope around things. There will be some conditions that is the case, but really at the end and after a big life that's maybe there, or a trauma or an accident can happen, and anybody who's young also can go through that. But all in all, going through their situation, helping them to understand, and giving them inner insight of the situation definitely helps them. And so I was told very early that if you are trying to teach anybody, like a doctor, you're trying to teach them about their condition, about what we know in the science and whatever human experience knows in the ancient wisdom, like if you know those things, you got to make sure that what you want to say is not like a impressing them, or it's not like forcing them to adopt, but then make sure they are understanding what you are saying, you know, and answer a question like a um, from our dialogue, what is it that you gathered? What is this that you understood? What is that you did not understand? Unless you ask those questions and make sure they're completely understood, your job as a teacher or physician or anybody who is helping to other people or a teacher, is not complete. So you got to make sure you made either so they cannot really do it, they kind of say, okay, I'm going to understand this from my viewpoint, but actually that may be deficient. They may want to expose themselves to you. During that time, you will definitely be able to uh, put more effort into what you want to convey to them, right? Maybe it's different language, different sentences, or different viewpoints and similes, examples, whatever we want to do. The ultimate aim is that they really understood what we are talking about. Okay, so we exert uh, very much in that. We don't say we want to break or we want to go home, or maybe I can give you an article read. No, it's a dialogue, it's a concern that he has, and does he understand that? Does he know the clear path towards the recovery? All those things come. For example, when I take on a nurse or a doctor that have come to me, and then they are complaining about the system, which is genuine, probably, so that's something, or feeling bad about how they were treated, or feeling bad about how their profession has become what it has become. All those situations they come in, right? At the time, for me to get them back to who they are, what they are doing, and what is that they have inner resilience wise. That is where I'm talking about enhancing the healthcare workers so they can tap on the inner resilience they already have. Maybe their understanding or whatever layers that they have there, they are ignorance, we call it basically, and then dispel them, and then, for example, somebody comes with the burnout. Most of the time they don't understand that is because of the thinking that they have, or too much thinking, or negative thinking, or don't know how to really calm your mind and then be really in charge of your thinking. A lot of people are not. So I kind of strive very hard to make them realize that they are having thoughts. That means their awareness is having thoughts. It is not the thoughts is themselves. That's the mistake that most of the people make is, I am thinking this, so I am this negative, I am this person, and worthless. So all those things come up. But once you say, just step back and watch your thoughts and see what they are, and then these seem to go down in the rapidity of the thought. And once they are like that, what happens? Next is they can isolate the negative thought and go beyond it. That's like turning the negative thoughts into positive thoughts. And then, even if it is to say, yeah, this is a thought happening to me, so I don't have to cling to it. I can really understand, and I can really see that it's happening and going, coming and going. That kind of simple realization, lots of times, um, brings them out of that cyclical thought they have, constantly thinking the same thing and then reinforcing that, and then arising some feelings that are really not helping you inside. All those things come, right? So that is what happens. A lot of people who are kind of despondent, kind of desperate, kind of uh, uh, demoralized status and all that. Okay, so that is what happens. I always try to bring them out of that, and lots of times people really appreciate that. Right on the first session itself, they appreciate that I kind of got out of that cyclical thing, and then if not complete stoppage of thought, maybe they can turn those negative thoughts to positive and see positive possibilities that they can do. That happens quite often. And then they got to keep at it on a daily basis. Not only when they come and see me, but then I kind of give them exercises like get up in the morning and don't get into the devices, don't get into thoughts, and then do the deep breathing, be in the present. And then when you're going working, be focused on whatever you're doing. And then when you come home, before you go to bed, put all things out of your mind, put the devices away, and then go to sleep in a positive mind if possible. So that's something people can do that if they are given like a prescription every day they want to do it, and then they are not victim of their own thought going around, right? So that's one part of enhancement. The other enhancements are addressed to their physical uh, problems or physical weakness or whatever they have, and then energize them with deep breathing. And then mind, I told you about how they should handle it. And then just be kind to somebody, random act of kindness. That kind of helps your emotions to be positive in so many ways. So these are several things that add to enhance any human being. But some human beings are pretty optimistic, pretty forward in their thinking, very um, impressed about life, and they want to get back into the joy of life. That's beautiful to watch, so those people are appreciated and pointed out and all that. So but some people may be in a situation of a job situation where they cannot move from one hospital to other hospital, and while in that hospital they have all this politics, all these people rubbing a lot of negativity on you. Those things happen too. Then I teach them, how could you be in a negative situation and not to react but respond? So don't be emotional, don't take it personal, and then really look at what is going behind it. Maybe that other person is ignorant, other person is egotistical, other person is not really compassionate or kind to you. All those things, when you pay attention, um, and if you don't react to that, it is a much better way uh, mm, than otherwise, right? So these are the various layers I work with people without judging them, but then having a lot of love and compassion for them and looking at them as the beings they are, not the mind conditioned body or body conditioned mind. That's not what they are. They are the deeper self, which is animating the mind and body. Once you focus on that and bring them to that real, lots of times these confusions, not having clarity, or getting negative, all those things will slow down and will disappear too, slowly, but not all of a sudden. But the problem is, you will do everything today. Tomorrow morning you wake up again, your old habits, old memories, old tendencies, all those things come. That is where people make a mistake of getting back into that without it. So we had to give them some visual cues as to deep breathing, presence of mind, and then so looking at thoughts as only thoughts, not as the realities. All those things. Thoughts are real, but then your reaction is kind of not have to be there. That is the thing that you will teach them. Your self will is trained to deal with the thoughts which are powerful. So you can, with your self will, you can make your mind your friend or your enemy. So when I teach people about that, they take a lot of time to get to the stage. But then you don't have to rush them, but just be a friend, just be a pal, just be a enabler. So that way they will always try to be that. Okay. So this is Friday evening, so uh, I'm going to talk only a few more minutes because I have another room at 6:30 or 6:25, I think. Somebody invited me for something special. We will be talking to them. Okay. Uh, so, anybody has any questions or anything? Then I can prolong this talk for a few more minutes. Otherwise, this is the enhancing the human being, enhancing the healthcare worker, enhancing the physician or nurse or anybody like that is the theme that we will merge with that burnout of doctors and other people too, and jam information age and information overload, brain fog, depressions, and anxiety. They're all going to get worse as we get more and more data. Okay, and more AI will be implemented. We will be free of a lot of cognitive enhancing things, so that we'll be left alone with ourselves. So you'll be left alone to reflect on yourself. So better learn these soft skills, better learn to be things will help you a lot. Okay. So with that, I think there is a storm going on around here. So the restream is acting up here, and I will probably end this because the restream is also not functioning properly. So I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you.